Beneath the leafy rooftop of the woods in Little Nook was a very hungry rabbit who was sitting by the brook. My flowers had been stolen, almost every single bunch. Rabbit panicked, feeling sure that there was not enough for lunch. He saw a clump of fur between some sticks up on the ground, and he thought that he might know just where the culprit might be found. So Rabbit marched to Squirrel's house to find his precious food and to tell his friend that taking it was really rather rude. "Excuse me," shouted Rabbit. "Now with Squirrel with his insight, I was really looking forward to my marigold delight. You know you took my flowers, please return them right away." But it wasn't only Rabbit who was just missing food that day. "My acorns have been stolen," Squirrel shouted with a cry, and the villain left a bite mark in my tree as they went by. Their friends know just one creature who would nibble on a tree, and they thought that they might know just where the culprit might now be. So on they marched to Beaver's house to find their precious food, and to tell their friends that taking it was really rather rude. So they marched to Boar's house off to find the precious food, and to tell the friends that taking it was really rather rude. "Excuse me," shouted Beaver. Now that Boar was in her view, "I was really looking forward to my branch and bramble stew. I know you took my branches and I liked them back unchewed." But it wasn't only Beaver who was just longing to have food. "My berries have been stolen," snorted Boar. White-Eye was shocked, and the robber left some footprints leading right across that rock. "I've never seen such a creature who has footprints of that kind, so I think that we would follow them to see what we can find." The friends clambered the rock and clambered down the other side, as they trekked to their foot with just footprints as their guide. They took a narrow path that formed a line between the trees, and they crawled through thorny bushes that left scratches on their knees. They climbed some jagged rocks until their feet could take no more. Then they came across a cave that had a boulder for a door. The boulder started moving, and the creature stood in fright. A silhouette inside began to suffer into sight. "A monster!" Rabbit shouted as the friends all turned to flee. In the panic, Rabbit tripped, colliding head first with a tree. The monster hand loomed down as they picked him up. He shook. There was nothing quite so scary in the whole of Little Nook. "Oh, please say you won't eat me," Rabbit begged with fearful eyes. "I would never eat a rabbit," laughed the monster with surprise. "Well, thank you," answered Rabbit as she brushed the dirt away. The friends were just relieved to see that the rabbit was okay. The monster mumbled shyly as it bent down on their knee. "I was hoping that you all would like to join me for some tea." The monster clicked its finger, and the glow worms shined their light on the most amazing body of full wonderful delights. "Our missing food," said Rabbit. Now the monster plans were clear, and the creatures all said sorry for reacting such fear. "Please join me," said the monster, as it held for the seats. "You can help yourself to cups of tea and lots of yummy treats." When Rabbit's little tummy brimmed with marigold delight, and when all the toast had gone with no acorn spread inside. When Boar was full of berries and the stew was at an end, they all thanked the gentle monster, who was now their brand new friend.